I woke up this morning. Actually, I don't even know if I woke up because I don't think I even slept last night. This morning, feeling like an exhaust pipe, not wanting to start the day, just a zombie, deflated, discouraged, unmotivated. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've been there. And also with me, not sleeping is a it's activating because I went through 2 years of insomnia. So when I don't sleep, I have this panic that it's going to be like the dark tunnel that I went through many years ago. And when I didn't sleep for 2 years, I really understood what it feels like for those who are extremely depressed and just like wondering what life is about and if it's even worth it. So I didn't have a lot of suicidal ideation, but I got close to it. I was just, yeah, it was a horrible time. Anyway, but my point in sharing this with you is because, of course, we have a choice, and um, a part of me is like, "Fuck today, I'm done." And this was like at 7 a.m. And then there's another part of me that's like, "Okay, so you didn't sleep. Well, great. Well, not great, but okay. I hear you. Now, what are you going to do today? How are you going to show up? Are you going to allow not sleeping affect your day, affect you trying to affect other people? What kind of power are you going to give that? Right. And it doesn't mean to like not accept how you feel because the truth is I am exhausted and my lies. I was gonna say my lies are heavy. My eyes are heavy. I've been drinking a lot of coffee this morning. Um, I'm not gonna work out, and all of that is true, and it's okay. So yes, accept that. Right? You're not minimizing. You're not deflecting. You're not trying to feel something that you don't. Right? So accept your truth. This is my truth today. And you have a choice, right? And if you decide to move past what happened, and in this case, it was not sleeping, and you want to actively lean into the day with a positive mindset. And I don't know if the word is positive because the word positive can be a bumper sticker like the word happy. If you want to move into the day with intention, let's use that word, intentional, then you can. And you can leverage your story. You could leverage the fact that you're not going to let something like a lack of sleep prevent you from executing an intentional day. All right. Well, speaking of intentional, my intention for this episode is to get to your questions. And so before I get to your questions, I want to tell you about something. I am, well, me and so far 4,300 or 4,400 single people, all with a passion to work on themselves first. We are going to do 31 days of being single on purpose. So my workbook is my first workbook based off the book, Single on Purpose. And by the way, I am not a big fan of workbooks. And I thought, okay, if I'm going to make a workbook, I'm going to turn it into a program. So let's make the workbook something you do for 1 month. And so this comes out May 8th. You pick up this workbook. I give you a free link into my circle. And in there is chats, journaling prompts, live groups, forums, and 4,400 people, like-minded singles, all working on themselves. I would love for you to come do this. Tell a friend. The more, the better, because my whole mission is to change the temperature of singlehood, give singlehood a cape. Being single doesn't mean that you're defective. It means that you have the richest soil for growth and repositioning yourself. So when you're ready to invest in someone, you are bringing more to the table. Anyway, come do this with us, please. Just if you're if you're gonna listen, I'm trying to think of how I can invite you. All the different ways on social. The show notes, the link will be in there. The show notes, or go to my Instagram at the Angry Therapist. Click my bio link, and there's a free link in there. It bypasses any paywall, and it takes you directly into the forums. Okay. First question. Why does my ex seem so happy / relieved after ending our 10-year relationship? I'm going to answer this question with a question, or I'm going to start the answer with a question. And the question is, why does it give you anxiety that your ex, after 10 years, is happy / relieved? Or I don't know if he truly is, but that's the way that, or that's what you believe. And if he is, why is that bad? Why is that bringing up anxiety? Now, let me ask you another question. What does it mean, right? So if he is happy pretty quickly or relieved after 10 years, and I get it, 10 years is a long time, what does that mean about you or the relationship? Because this is why you're probably stressed out or frustrated or angry. You're attaching meaning. So if he's happy, then it means, maybe you weren't a good partner. If he's happy and relieved, it means he finally got out and he didn't enjoy the 10 years, or, he didn't like them. If he's happy, it means what? And usually, if we don't explore, it's what's running underneath that is giving us the feeling, right? Because the truth is, why shouldn't he be happy? And why shouldn't you be happy? I understand 10 years is a long time, but it's not like, and this is why I hate timelines, and they're made by society. Like, okay, so if it's like it involves some kind of math, like 10 years in a relationship means that you should be unhappy for X amount of time because the relationship was 10 years, right? And why does it have to be like that? Maybe the relationship was 10 years. Maybe people were checked out for the last 5 years. I don't know. But why is it bad that someone you shared your life with for 10 years now feels happy and relieved? Why are you taking that personally? Why shouldn't you be happy? What does it look like for you to not be concerned with your ex, but rather focus on your own life? And if you're the person that asked this question, I invite you, because you're the perfect candidate to jump into my 31 Days of Single on Purpose, so you can work on yourself and lay some tracks in the next month. I think we spend so much time focusing after an expired relationship on our ex, what they're doing, who they're dating, how fast they're getting over us or not getting over us. And all of that is going to throw you into a very slippery mental well where you're just going to be spinning a lot, right? And it prevents you from actually working on yourself and designing your own life. So unfollow, cut the cord. Yes, you could be friendly with your ex, and of course you could, depending on the relationship you have with your ex, you can text, you could do, whatever you feel is healthy for you with healthy boundaries. But focus on you. Stop worrying about your ex and where they're at and what they're feeling and why they're happy and relieved after 10 years. Stretch your heart and want them to be happy. Try to do that as a practice until you really believe it. Stretch your heart and want them to be happy. And I know shit might have gone bad. There might have been a lot of hurt and pain, and maybe there was infidelity. I don't know. But listen, it's over. Wish them well. Want them to be happy. And I hope your ex feels the same about you. Okay, next question. Interested in someone few hours flight away, met once, but texted daily for a month. Okay, this is not a question. Well, congratulations. I'm excited that you met someone. So basically, I guess you're saying this is going to be long distance. It's a few flights away. My thing with long distance, because I'm not a big believer in long distance, and I wonder how much of that is because I tend to lean toward an anxious attachment style. I mean, not as much anymore, but I just feel like it's so hard to really build something with someone and get to know someone. And so when you are only seeing the person sporadically or once a month, yes, there's FaceTime and texting and phones and all that, but um, I think it just takes longer. I think and then also with long distance, when you meet someone, everyone's on their best behavior. No one can do anything wrong. I mean, there's passion, there's fire, which is great, right? Like the honeymoon phase is basically extended and stretched out, and that's all exciting. But you got to get to where it's real, And I'm not saying that that is false. I mean, who doesn't love that? The beginning, right? The getting excited to see someone because you haven't seen them for a long time. Putting your legs around someone, jumping on them and wrapping your legs around someone. That's the image I see. That feeling, yes, that's amazing. It is nectar in life, of course, but that is not what relationships look like. There's a lot of hard conversations. There's a lot of uncovering. There's a lot of looking at self and inward and just rolling up your sleeves and, kind of building this thing. Right. And so if you're just jumping on people and wrapping your legs around them, um, you're not, you're not getting your hands dirty and digging into building a foundation for this relationship. I'm not saying that long distance isn't possible because I know many people who have been in long distance relationships that are very successful and they're very happy. So, um, for it's not really my thing, but I don't know. Maybe it will be as I get older. And the thing about love and our definitions of love and relationships and how we want to love, it changes. And so, um, I mean, I'm definitely more open to long distance now uh, than 10 years ago when I was very like anti long distance. It never works unless two people are heading toward a destination. This open ended long distance is baloney, a word I haven't used since the 80s. Okay, next question. I want to work it out with Huns, yet I am so angry and feel unhopeful about it. Where to? Question mark. Huns. Well, this is where you start. This is actually where you start this feeling. So you sit Huns down and you say, listen, I want to work it out with you. I love you. I want to fix this. I want to build this. I want to reposition us. But I am so angry right now and I'm feeling discouraged. And I'm not telling you this because I'm putting it on you. I'm just letting you know this is where I'm at. And how do you feel? Right. So you're not going into it telling your partner that it's their fault or you're not giving your partner an ultimatum. You're going into it letting your partner know how you feel. You're going into it with vulnerability and showing yourself, right? And you're keeping it a conversation. And so if this is where you start, now you're starting at truth, right? And then your partner hopefully will be supportive of that. And your partner will say, hey, listen, I want to work on this too. And this is how I feel, right? Now you guys are on the same page. And also, both of you guys being on the same page and being honest and really expressing your feelings is going to inject hope. So if you're feeling unhopeful, it's probably because you feel like you're doing this alone. So if you actually have this hard conversation where you're showing yourself and telling your partner that you want to work on this, and if you get that in return, then hope is going to be injected, right? And this is how you start to build hope. This is how you start to build trust. So I encourage you not to wait, not to postpone, not to play chess. And what I mean by playing chess is, hey, by the way, if you hear that noise in the background, that's my mailman. And the greatest compliment of this year was my mailman. He delivered my mail. I live in this little cul-de-sac, And he waved hi to me, and he says, "I listened to your podcast." And I was so touched by that. It's funny because he just walked up to my door and delivered mail. I waved hi to him, and I'm actually doing my podcast. And I don't know if he listened to my podcast because he saw my open garage studio, and saw the posters, book posters, or if he was listening to me before. But when I realized my mailman listens to me, I was so flattered. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Anyway, start with your truth. This is how you feel. Express this, share it, and going into it, not with an ultimatum or pointed fingers, going into it with compassion and letting your partner know, hey, this isn't on you. I'm just letting you know this is where I'm at. I want to know where you're at, and how can we start over? How can we continue to build? And through that conversation, you are going to hopefully, assuming that your partner's on the same page and wants the same things, you're going to start to feel more trust and hope. And this is the beginning. Thank you for listening, everyone. Everyone. It's usually one person listening, John. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And I hope you, whether you're single or not, come to this 31 days of Single on Purpose with us, and tell a friend. Be well.